Okay, so you have started your skincare business. You have bought into a specific skincare brand and you are ready to rock and roll. What is the first thing that you should be doing to build your business? Now, I'm not on about marketing. I'm not on about any of that. I'm on about what happens when you get your first customer through the door. What do you do? How do you distinguish yourself from everybody else that's doing the same thing that you're doing, which is trying to sell skincare and build a following of customers? The one thing that I've learned over the past 2 decades of working in skin, working in spa, and working on the operations and developing businesses to succeed is it's building that relationship with your customers. So over the past 18 years, I have been creating a four process system that basically works with getting a consultation just right. So skin consultations are, in my opinion, the most important part of your whole business setup, and really getting to do these correctly is just going to transform how you work and develop relationships with your customers. It will also help with gratuity. If you're looking to maximize your revenue per hour, then gratuity tips is one of the ways that you're going to do it. It's going to help by increasing your retail sales. It's going to help by increasing your request sales. And it's also going to help by using the upgrades within that 1 hour or 1.5 hour treatment, depending on what it is that you actually do. Whether you're a spa consultant, a skin consultant, or you are a beauty therapist, depending on what it is, obviously the upgrade will be depending on what you offer. So what exactly is a skin consultation? So let me take you through my 4 steps. I'm going to go into these in much more detail later down the line, but you should know them today so you can start practicing them today and start looking at how your consultations differ to what I recommend. Now, when it comes to the first thing, the first and most important part of the whole consultation is the actual relationship between you and your customer. If you do not have a relationship with your customer, no matter what you try and sell, it's always going to be painful because it's always going to be just a sale. It's never going to be personalized. It's never going to be bespoke. It's never going to be anything apart from just this smells good. Why don't you take it? Oh, your skin was a bit red when I touched it. Why don't you take it? Oh, I noticed that you had a bit of a flare up or you got a few spots. This is a really good, salicylic acid. You should try it. This is the type of ending that most therapists and ambassadors tend to end with. But that's not going to sell, and that is not going to, transform your business into a successful one. What's going to transform is by building that relationship. The reason why you need to build that relationship as well is, like I've said in the previous post, your skin and the way it looks is determined by many different factors. And one of the biggest factors is what we call extrinsic aging. So our external environment. What does our lifestyles look at? Now, your customers might have the same skin. We all have the same skin. We all have 3 layers, but we all have different lifestyles. We all have different stresses. We all have different jobs. We all have different occupations. We all have different likes and dislikes. We all have different food intakes, water intakes, alcohol, intakes. So knowing your customer and building the relationship is only going to allow you to then start to understand what is it that could be causing those concerns. If you do not build that relationship at first, are they going to tell you that they're stressed in work? Are they going to tell you that they're on certain medications for, mental health issues, or for, for getting pregnant, or for stress-related issues? They're not going to tell you this if they don't feel comfortable around you. And you can make them feel comfortable really, really quickly. And that I'll go into at another time. So once you've built the relationship, they're then going to be able to give you the information that you need. And like I said, that information will be, what is their lifestyle? Do they like taking hot baths? What is their actual skin concerns? What is their skin been like? What have they used in the past? You don't want any judgment. You don't want any judgment at any time, but you certainly don't want any judgment at this point. You want to be open-minded. What you see and what your customer might feel might be 2 completely different things. So always go in with these consultations knowing it's not about you, it's about them. I say that because I've worked in this industry for years, just shy of 20 years. And I have noticed that so many people that do consultations, it's all about them. It's not about the customer, it's about them. So remember, this is not about you, it is about your customer. And the only way your business will thrive is if you remember that, and you remember to listen to your customer and not talk. If you're finding you're talking too much, you know that the consultation is going the wrong way. So finding out that information, building that trust, learning about your customer, becoming friends, building that relationship. Once you've built the relationship and you've gained the information, you and then and only then can you start to educate on your customer's skin, bringing in the lifestyle choices that they've talked about that could be causing those problematic issues that they've talked about, that they said they've got. So you're not going to know what they do to cause those issues if you haven't asked the questions in the first place, so that they feel comfortable to actually give you that information. Remember, everyone always feels judged. The one thing you don't ever want to do is allow someone to feel like they're being judged. So asking questions in a really simple manner, like you would to your friends, your sisters, your brothers, your mums, your fathers, your aunties, your uncles. If they had a concern, you would ask normal questions. But when it comes to a consultation, I'm not quite sure what happens, but normality goes out the window. And this kind of blockage kicks in. And that's because maybe you're scared that you just don't know how to help this customer, but you're not going to know until you start to understand that skin's lifestyle. So the education is dependent on the first two things. Once you've educated, you then in their head, you've become their expert. You've have outlined and you've shone a light on things that nobody else has ever talked about. And that will be where you will become your biggest asset, because then people are buying into you. They're not buying into your product, they're buying into what you are talking about. So the education's been done. Then and only then should you start to recommend. And their recommendation is not just skincare, it's also what they should be doing. Like, we should not be taking hot showers. In the education part, you would explain why hot showers would have caused the capillaries to dilate, causing potential rosacea and breakouts in the sense of capillary damage. So we want to talk about that. We've talked about that. We told them that that's free advice to them. Then we're going to go into maybe their skincare routine isn't quite right, isn't quite doing its job. And you know that because you've literally listened to what she said over the past 2-3 minutes about what's going on with her skin. And you can see correlating between what she's been using and what's going on. The two just aren't working together, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with the skincare brand, it's just not working for her. So this is when maybe you will recommend your skincare routine and why you recommend this is going to work better than the other stuff. But unless she has that education, unless she has that trust in you, is she going to buy? Probably not. So doing it this way, building that relationship to gain the trust, to gain the information, to then educate, and then and only then to recommend, will you tick every single box. You've built that relationship, and that person now is literally, I don't know if you see it, but watch it. When people are interested, they start to lean forward. If you see that happening, you know that you've got them. You've become their skincare expert. No matter what you do, no matter how long you've been in the industry, as soon as you know more than that person in that room, you are an expert. You're not calling yourself a dermatologist, you're calling yourself an expert in the room. And like I said, the more you know than that person that you're talking to, you're going to be their go-to now for skincare issues. And that's where your business will start to thrive, because guess what? They're then going to introduce you to their friends, family, and everybody else. And that's how you build your skincare business correctly. So there we go, guys. I hope that's been useful. Lots of information to take in there. Give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my page, whatever it is on YouTube. I'm really relatively new to YouTube. I've always been a Facebook kind of girl, but I'm branching out. I'm developing my branches and blossoming, should they say. But yeah, give me a like. Any questions you have on that, add them below. There's so much to tell you, but at least let's start off with the basics. Get your skin consultation perfect, and we'll talk more about that later down the line. But there we go. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you soon. Bye everyone. Bye.